Welcome back, everyone. The president delivered his jobs plan to the Senate, and it got knocked down. Well, just before that vote, he challenged Republicans to come up with their own bill.
And they did. Arizona Senator John McCain will join his colleagues in rolling it out today. Senator, welcome back. We're going to talk about Happy Birthday, Navy, and that means a lot to you and your family, I understand. But first things first, today you're coming out with a jobs plan while the president's still going to try to pass his piece by piece. Could that impede the process?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious, Brian, that he showed with defection of Democrats, and there would have been more of them if it hadn't have been a procedural moment, that he's not going to get anywhere near what he needs as far as votes for the entire package. But they never expected to. This is all about campaigning. And by the way, this stimulus 2 that he's pushing is we've seen this movie before. We saw the promise of 8.8% unemployment if we passed it. We saw the promise that it would be job creation, and this is the same borrow, tax, and spend proposal that stimulus 1. So we've come up with a proposal to put a moratorium on regulations, to simplify the tax code, to get going on offshore drilling, to a line item veto, to a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution. And we're going to be, that's Senator Rand Paul and Senator Portman and many others. We've all been involved in this, and we're rolling out today, and we'll be glad to put it as a counterpoint to the president's tired, same old spend, tax, borrow efforts of the past.
Well, Senator, it will take one of his talking points away, which has been the Republicans have no plan, right?
Right, and we have a plan, and we'll have almost all of the Republican senators behind it. And if he wants to bring up a piece of his proposed plan, we'll bring up a piece of ours. We'd love to see, for example, a vote in the United States Senate on a moratorium on federal regulations, which are coming out by the thousands, costing businesses billions and billions of jobs. We'd love to see a vote on that, but it'd be interesting to see whether the majority leader allows it.
Let's talk about something else that I know you've been focusing on, the Iranian terror plot as it unfolded. They've been looking at it since May. You might have known about it since then. What should the right response be, Senator? What should be on the table?
First of all, Brian, the ham-fistedness of it is what's first initially very surprising. This is a very, very efficient terrorist organization, the Quds Force. They exported these lethal IEDs into Iraq that killed Americans. They're supporters of Hezbollah, Hamas. They have intervened in Bahrain. They're playing everywhere in the region. But second of all, it's really should alarm us, because here's a country that is clearly on the path to acquiring nuclear weapons and the means to deliver them, and they are trying this kind of thing in the United States of America. First, we ought to freeze their assets. We ought to make it difficult for their oil shipments and put more pressure on them. And then, of course, we have to consider this in the context of their overall behavior. Could I mention one other thing about it, Brian? In the early 2009, after a corrupt election, the people of Tehran took to the streets and they were saying, Obama, Obama, are you with us or are you with them? And you know what he said? He said he didn't want to jeopardize his chances to negotiate with the Islamic government of Iran. That was a huge opportunity that we wasted. I'm telling you, history will judge that action by the president very harshly.
Very, very interesting point to bring up. We have 30 seconds left, and I want to make sure we get in the happy birthday. 236th birthday of the U.S. Navy, Senator.
I remember celebrating at Manila Bay during the Spanish-American War. It's a great time.
Well, that's taking us really back in time.
There was a McCAIN there. It just wasn't that McCAIN that I'm talking to.
All right.
Thanks,
Senator,
Gary.
always great to get your thoughts. Thanks for joining us.